Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see Android UI designs. Aim of today's session is to create a registration form, just the GUI or the UI for the registration, and we are also going to learn about the different Android layouts. So we'll begin. We'll begin by starting our Android Studio. This would be our assignment number 2. This would give us the basic Hello World application. Now what we are going to do is we are going to remove the hello world string from there, and we are going to create a registration application. So before we get into building things here, what I would like to tell you is about the layouts that we have. So the layout is nothing but what we can say as a placeholder where you are going to put all your elements on the application screen. Now there are different kinds of layouts that we would be seeing right now. Okay, let's wait for the application to load. Okay, so this is a default application. If you see here, these are all the this is the palette where you get all the what we can say as elements that we can drag and drop. We'll go up here and see the layouts. Now you can see there are different kinds of layout, and this is the current layout, that is the constraint layout. Now what a constraint layout is that whenever you put a element inside it or an object inside it, it would have constraint on either or in two, or mostly on the max on two sides of this. Now these are the constraints that we are going to put. Like this is 8 from the top, 8 from the left, 8 from the right. Now these are constraints that we are putting. The constraint layout depends on the device size. It will keep the size that we specify it. Okay. Then there are linear layout. Now linear layout, that adjusts the objects as linear list. It goes on adding itself. Then there is a relative layout. The relative layout is one of the most widely used layouts in this in Android. In Android designing, because it gives you the what we can say as independence of keeping your elements wherever you want. It doesn't move the elements on its own. So what we would go is we'll go on with the linear layout. That there are two options for the linear layout. Either the horizontal, that means if you keep on adding elements, it are going to go next to each other. If you have vertical, they are going to go under each other. So what we are going to do, we are going to change this current constraint layout to a linear layout. So to that, what we do, we just take this string here and we replace it with linear layout. Okay. Now as we have replaced with linear layout, as you see now it is a linear layout and hello world has gone to the top left. Because it is a linear layout, if you add another element here, go on to the right. Now because this is the horizontal linear view, all the elements are going to right of each other. If we go here and change its orientation, they will go below it. Okay, so our aim is to create a registration form. So we'll just go ahead and add a text view here. So rather than using the linear layout, I would prefer to use a relative layout here. Okay, so we'll go here and write relative layout. Okay, now we have a relative layout here. Now I can drag this object anywhere I want. So what we'll do, we'll give it a heading as registration form. We'll keep it in the center here. Okay, now here you can see these are the properties that the element has. The text will name the text as a registration form. Okay, we'll give it a larger size, around 24 sp. Okay, We can give the text color as uh, let's have holo dark blue. This will be the text color for a registration form. We have a heading now. Here you can see there are a lot of different elements that we have. So let us take we'll take a few elements here, like we'll take his name, I will take his phone number, I will take an email, we'll take the postal address. This would be our default registration form. Now as you can see, the name is written here. We don't want this text here. Okay, so once we remove it, there would be nothing. So to specify what a user has to enter here, we are going to use we are going to give a hint there. We have to search it as hint. Okay, we are going to say the first is name. So you see it comes as a gray in name. Okay, now then the postal address we are going to give as address. Third one is a cell phone number. Okay, no, second one was a contact. Third one was email. Last one was his address. Okay. So we have all these fields up here. What we can have is rather than using this particular edit text for this, we can have a multi-line text here. The multi-line text would enable us to have multiple line of texts, or we can keep the postal address as well. Okay, we can have a number input, we can have a date input here. As a DOB. Now these are all the different kinds of inputs that you can take. Okay, so now what we are going to do is one of the most important parts in a registration form is button. That would be our final submit button. We'll say this button will give the text on this button as submit. So here we have created a registration form, and now we're going to try and run it on our Android emulator. Slice, okay, and we have started our Android emulator. It is running now. So here the Android emulator is now booting. As soon as our application, our Android emulator comes online and our application is launched into it, it will be shown on the screen. Okay, now this is our registration form. We have name, the contact, the email, the date of birth, address. Okay, so this is our first Android. This is our second Android application, that is the registration form, just the UI. We would be working on this application later in our next videos, where we would learn how to use this form, take these details and enter these details into a database, that is SQLite database. That would be our fourth session after this system. This accomplishes our objectives for today. Thank you very much.